Good evening, people of YouTube. What have I got for you tonight? This here is my estimated layout of the Kamasa Tools socket set number 3621. Okay. I don't know how old this socket set is, but I do know that on the Kamasa website they seem to have shifted to a lot of bicycle products rather than engineering or precision tooling, so that it's likely that they've been bought out. Also, their serial numbers are all now up in the 5-digit numbers, so you've got like 57348, rather than a 4-digit number of 3621, which is the number on the box that this socket set arrived in. Now, the reason for this video is what I'm considering doing is making a new tray for the parts, and my problem is, because there's quite a lot of the tray missing, excuse me, I need to estimate where some of the parts go. On this side you can clearly see the part of the moulding shows that this side is for millimeter sockets, and I've got the 22, the 20, 19, 17, 14, 12, hold on, wait a minute, 22, 20, 19, 17, 14, 12, 11. Here would have been the 10, and then we have the 9 and the 8. Now, I don't think I've got room to have them in a sort of horizontal line. Okay, the reason that being is that I've measured the actual tin tray, and it is 440 millimeters long in its entirety on the inside. Okay, and if I try and squeeze all these sockets up tight and then squeeze up all the imperial sockets quite tight, I still am longer than 440 millimeters. So they have to bend round, I think. It's maybe only just one socket on either end that does it, but now bringing me to my next point, I've got a good indication here of where most of the parts go. The wrench, this is called the crossbar for whatever reason, I don't know. Then this flexible wrench, this is called a speed something, speed wrench, and I'm missing this, what length is that actually? Six-inch extension, and I'm missing this 3-inch extension. So that actually, I can update this because I had that down as being a 3-inch. I can update this as I had this down as being a 3-inch and a 4-inch, when it's actually a 3-inch and a 6-inch extension. 6 inches narrow, however. Slim. Right, okay. So, that leaves me with this, what's that called? This is called a universal joint, okay? And this is the spark plug socket. and this over here is the 1/2 inch adapter female to 3/8 inch adapter male. Okay, I can only assume that that goes there in that sort of orientation. I don't know if it's that way or if it's the other way around. Likewise with this one, but I can't see it. This side has to go here because I don't have the length to have it like that, and I don't have the room over here to have it like that. So it seems that there is a bit of a void here, which would, and if you look at the casing here, there is a small indication that that may have been where it was situated. So I think that's a good guess there. Maybe it went around that way. Oh no, would that fit better, I wonder? You know what I mean? Like so. And then maybe these were in like that. I wonder. Or is that? No, that's just a wee bit too tight, I think. So see this, I don't like this here. I don't know what the correct layout would have been there. Now on this side we have an indication here. So could that have been, see that seemed, see this radius here to me is kind of like this radius here, so that you can get your finger in. So if you can get your finger in there, bearing in mind that this extension, this would have been the square end here and this would have been the female here. So you want your fingers in the female, obviously. That would go round in that orientation in that case. Yeah? So that would be like that. So that, I think, now is the almost the perfect layout. I don't know what to do with these 3 sockets because there should be a 10mm here, and I don't know what to do with these 4 sockets. I've got no indication of how they are laid out. Yeah, well, I do actually. There's those 2 certainly should be there. Yeah, going by that edge of that. So it's only these 2 sockets which are currently unaccounted for, and I would assume that this side is the same. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So up to there is certainly accounted for because they would be, and it's only the last 2 sockets which are unaccounted for, as in their position. Now, I would really like to acquire a 6-inch slim extension bar made by Kamasa Tools of Japan, and I would also really like to acquire a 3-inch extension bar by Kamasa Tools of Japan. The difference between this one, I think, is that it's sort of standard dimensions, while this one is of a slimmer dimension. The next 2 things I would like to acquire is a 10mm socket in good condition by Kamasa Tools of the same model variety as the rest of these sockets. They've got, hold on, this seems to be a little bit bright. Maybe that's too dark now, I don't know. They've got a line at the bottom of the socket, and they've got Japan written on them. I don't know if that's focusing very well. 3/8 drive. Now, so whether or not that is going to be possible, or even plausible, because this could be quite an old set, Now, getting back to the, after 10 minutes of yapping, getting back to the reason for this video, is I'm hoping to create a new tray. Now, I don't have injection moulding or blow moulding processes to make a new one of these, and to be fair or frank, I wouldn't want to, because it's crap. It's really let the set down. Perhaps if it hadn't been if it hadn't fallen apart, the other parts of the set wouldn't have been lost. Yeah, maybe not, I don't know. But what I'm struggling with the now is, how do I go about making a tray for each of these components to hold it in these positions, and to do so all within the dimensions of 140mm wide by 440mm long, and somewhere in the ballpark of 30 to 38 millimeters in height. The reason I say 30 to 38 is the maximum outside width or height of the toolbox is 40mm. Now, giving maybe a millimetre for the thickness of the sheet metal on either side, that brings you down to 38. Now, I've measured the depth of this plastic tray, and that's roughly 30mm, but as you can see, some parts protrude above this height, yeah, and that will be the case in a number of areas. And you can see over here it's protruding. So you really have to maximize that height as much as possible. Now I've measured the inside. I've done a quick measurement with a tape measure, and the inside of the tray, the bottom half is about 19mm in height, and the top is maybe about 19mm. Yeah, so you're looking about 36 to 38 there, not 30 to 38. That height there is 30. Now, one of the ideas I'd mulling over in my head was to make it out of wood, okay? I don't have access to a lot of materials. I don't have access to a lot of tooling. I've got a quantity of woodworking tools, and I've got a quantity of metalworking tools, but I don't have the precision machining capabilities that would be necessary to make this out of metal or even plastic, because what I'm thinking here is, if I had that solid block of plastic and then run that through a milling machine, I don't have a milling machine. How do I carve bits like this out? It's going to be quite awkward. So I think with my tooling capabilities currently, this is going to be best made using sheets of wood rather than a solid block of wood. Yeah. What I think I'll do is maybe take a thin bit of plyboard as the base. I don't know how thin I'll make that yet. 2mm might be too thin. 4 or 5mm might be just a little bit too thick. Keep bearing in mind how much I have to play with here. and then have a second layer which could be could form the base of these slots. Yeah. If you have a little look at the design of this plastic tray, we have this deep recess here for getting your fingers in to lift your parts out. But then the bottom of these slots, which retain your some of the parts, is a little bit higher than the absolute minimum. Yeah. And then of course you've got the top. So this here could be the top of the lower layer. This here could be the top of the secondary layer, and this here could be the top of the final layer. And to me this is actually higher again than this, so that might have to be a fourth layer possibly. So I think building it up in layers made out of laminate, drilling the holes or using the that's another thing, just drilling the holes for all the sockets. I've certainly got a number of drill bits and augers, but to get accurate sizes for each of these diameters may be a little bit difficult, so I do have an adjustable auger however, so that will help. So I've got woodworking tools which will suffice for that sort of operation, rather than using slot cutters or end mills to try and do the job. But when you start thinking about this, actually recreating this, you'll discover that there's a lot more to it than you might imagine, and you take it for granted. But I believe Kamasa have really let their customers down here with this shoddy plastic tray. It's terrible, it really is. They've got a reasonable quality of socket set. The socket sets have proven the test of time. I don't think they've got that much use, but they don't seem to have degraded any. The rest of the tools all seem to be in good condition. Right? One or two areas where the chrome has actually chipped off just a little bit on some of these sharper corners, and there as well. But in general the set has been quite a decent set, I think. Likewise the case is fairly robust, tin tray or box, and the only thing that's failed it is this crappy little plastic tray. So if I could source the 4 items I'm missing: 10mm socket, 9/16 millimeter 9/16 of an inch millimeter socket. Now I believe these, oh by the way, that's another point, these are 12-point sockets, all of them, both the metric and imperial, and I believe that these sockets are classed as the shallow versions, they're not classed as the deep versions, okay? And then I've got the 6-inch slim extension and the 3-inch standard extension. But that's 20 minutes, folks. I've talked a whole 20 minutes on a socket tray somehow. So take care and bye for now.